Welcome to Cards of Insight, where we discuss all things tarot. And I'm Greg, and I live in London.
Anna here, joining you all the way from sunny Brazil.
Susan here. I'm here in Canada.
And Pavlina, greetings from London, UK.
And we are all tarot readers.
Do we want to try a different type of question entirely?
I will pick the card.
Okay, the question is, my ex reached out after 8 years. Should I meet him?
Wow, after 8 years, wow.
Yeah, a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Something suggesting is not resolved, right?
Probably.
Okay. Just wanted to say, let's not forget the Queen of Swords is a problem solver, right?
Mhm. Yep.
So I think the issue what was in the past will be resolved. What way? We have to pull more cards.
So what would be the obvious question that we would ask?
How will the meeting go?
Or like, what does he want with me? Wouldn't that be in? Yeah. So should we pull a card for that one?
Mhm.
Who wants to pull a card?
I've got card, Lover's card.
Oh, my.
Oh.
Pretty straightforward. Isn't
What does he want from me? Wow.
it? Okay, a repeat.
Yeah, he has a lot of regrets. He has a lot of regrets. Do you think?
Yes.
It's the Lover's card, so
Yeah.
it might be obvious. Well, it will be obvious to people it's about lovers, but the Lover's card is a trump card, so it speaks more of an intellectual relationship as well. So even though it's 8 years later, they still have an intimacy. And so them meeting up again, I would say pursue the intimacy you had before. Give it a second chance. Because there's it's a trump card. It's quite powerful. I would definitely say something you're going to get a relationship out of that, or at least an intimate one.
Or he's looking, or he or she is looking for a restart.
Yeah.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, and because, well, that's to me, I don't know if you see it that way. I sometimes see that as Adam and Eve. It's probably because they have unique chemistry that he didn't find or she didn't find anywhere. So they're back. I would see this as a repeat. It could be fantastic, but it depends again on the context. If the person is not interested in intimacy anymore and they're over it, or they were dumped in such a bad way, then no. But to me, it's pretty clear what the person wants.
The person did. So it will be something spoken about, like the Queen of Swords is sharing some information about the past experience choice, right? What does he want? Maybe, or she wants, is to talk about the past. What happened about the relationship and resolve.
But it could be a healing, right? That person wants obviously to maybe apologize for what took place and maybe rekindle what was there, or see if there's a possibility of rekindling. Do you think?
For me, like, because I'm Marseille reader, for me, it's always Lover's card as a choice with somebody else, right? So, yes, it's potential about sharing information.
We've got another question there, Susan.
Well, this could be the follow-up of this, or it can be a brand new one. How can I rekindle my love life? And we could look at it, if it's a relationship, just brand new relationship, or like early, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Greg, do you want to pull a card?
Yeah, I picked one. Ooh,
Okay.
I got death.
What?
I honestly, I would be very blunt. Some people say, oh, the little death in French, and no, no. I'm not going to make this sound nice. For me, you just move on. It's not. It has finished its course. It's time to move ahead and look for something better for both of you. Go one way and they go in. I would see death here not as a transformation, but as simple.
It's done.
It's an easy
done.
answer, right? That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's not a good one though. If the person is, a recent relationship, early in the relationship, and it's, gone, it's because it's
Could
gone.
be, it could be a 3-week relationship. And it
Yeah,
went
God
bad,
knows.
and now it's saying, okay, don't, no, it ended. Don't try to bring it backwards.
Is it
Mhm.
answer for question? How can I rekindle my love life? Or?
Yes.
Yes.
You can't.
Oh,
Death card.
you can't. Yeah, I don't. I wouldn't see this as a yes. I would see this as a no. Just move on. With both your lives and find somebody who makes you feel happy again. But I mean, this is my interpretation. How would you guys see this in a different light?
Yeah, this is like, I'm thinking that, like, if this is just a young, like 3-month relationship or 6-month relationship, yeah, I would say the death card is saying, no, it ended. That dinner went badly. Don't try to reinvent it.
Uh, and I can't imagine the face of the person seeing the death card. One of the most dreaded cards in the deck, right?
I think they would get it.
Well, it's a
Yeah.
good one because what if there's nothing you can do? What if the person just simply doesn't love you? There's nothing you can do to change it. Even if you won the lotto, the person's not coming back with you.
And if you followed the sequence of majors after death, what do you have? You have temperance, right? And temperance is just something tepid. It's just like that, perfunctory sex. Just nothing really, to tell neighbors about. It's just no. Move on. I would say move on.
Okay, well, we could ask the same question, but say, like, this is a person who's married with children,
Oh,
and see what kind of card we'd get from that.
are we leaving death?
Yeah, forget the 6-month relationship. Yeah, that's done. But what if,
Just a second before we make this easier on us and on the consultant. If this were a relationship of a married person with kids, I would also say no. But if you look at the card, you have so many tips in the card that you could add to the reason why this happened. You have in the card kids. You have kids in the death card, right? You have the Pope in the death card, right? You have a king that is exhausted or dead in the death card. So to me, what happened here was that, rut, years, sacrifices, problems, that everybody has. I mean, if you have kids, a difficult life, you have to make ends meet, and you just and even the institution of marriage itself with a pope there, that kind of corroded the whole fantasy of it and made it die. So this, to me, in a different type of context, would give the reasons why it ended. As far as did they continue? This is not the question we asked. I like to stick to the question we asked, but yeah.
well, I was just going to say, in that context, it would basically say, rather, like, it's saying, can I rekindle my love life? And to me, it's like, no, that part of that relationship is sailed. It's over with.
Yeah.
And if they have children, I mean, they still have the children, but the relationship, the marriage part of it is gone.
You could even kind of make it lighter and say, well, you may still have love, but it's not going to be the same love that you're looking for that you had when you were 16 and you married the guy. or the girl. You see what I mean? You have to change your notion of what love is now, because a lot of things happened and you changed, your partner changed, and the facts of life. So, everybody else?
I think it is about a new chapter in
Yes,
relationship.
I think it definitely. Oh,
Yeah.
new chapter. So they would stick together then.
It's transformation as well. It's like, but the person should move forward.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, and not stick to the previous
Rules.
idea of Uh-huh.
I mean, for simplicity's sake, the death card simply says no. And if somebody says, "Oh, how am I going to rekindle my relationship?" No chance. I mean, how do you do that? People find that quite offensive.
I don't think the death card always says no, because it could means the things will be not the same as we mentioned here.
Yeah, they
Mm.
Going to
can.
be different. You have to accept it's changed. It's like being single and then you have a kid all of a sudden. It's a different thing, different energy from being single and then married with children.
So that would
Now,
be a good way to explain to them why things would be very different.
uh-huh.
Maybe they
Yeah.
would understand better.
Now, how would you be able to tell if the death is a no, it's over, move on, or you have to retransform or remake yourself, remake your idea of love is? How would you know?
I would have to draw another card and ask what the other partner would want. And
Uh-huh.
then you would get congruency between the two cards. That's how I would do it.
Absolutely, yeah. And your intuition also, right? Because
That comes first.
sometimes you just look at it and you say, "Oh no, my God."
When you look at the Marseille, the death card is looking at the past. Right? In this case, it's looking to the future. So that could be like from the past, it could be something cut from the past, and for the future, move ahead. Just leave the things and grudges or being upset or any strange.
Close the chapter. Yeah. Get a
Yeah.
new book.
Behind.
Yeah.
Write a new book. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
they can't, if they really truly wanted to rekindle that life with that person, they would have to put the past behind them.
Yes.
Both of
Start
them
again.
would.
It's a transformation of the relationship. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And next question.
So the next question, why can't I lose any weight? What is my relationship with food?
Right, let me get a card.
Okay.
Yeah, I pulled the death card. I'm going to take another one. That's death card haunting us.
Yeah, that's a sign.
Okay. So, right, your diet, right?
Well, that means cut the food.
Why can't I lose any weight?
You can't lose any weight because you've got the dude on the horse holding a cup.
Oh, because you are drinking too many
Oh,
beer.
Knight of
Nice.
Cups, the dude on the
Knight
horse
of
carrying a cup.
Cups.
Yeah, heading east.
That's an easy one.
Because you love a beer. That's it. And wine.
No, it's probably because with the beer goes the extra food.
Yes.
I mean, that sort of person who associates things with food. When they drink, they have to eat. When they watch TV, they have to eat. So that it's the combo. Every time they do that thing, food has to come with it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's usually fat.
Emotional
Well,
eater.
no, I know the associations of
And they're sitting on a horse, so they're certainly not walking.
walking. Good point.
They're sitting on the
Exactly.
horse. They've got their cup of whatever, beer, wine, whatever. So they're letting the horse is getting great exercise, but if you're not walking, or if that course isn't galloping where you would have to put leg pressure and whole lots of other things involved, but if you're just doing sedately through the prairie or wherever you're doing, that's not going to lose your weight.
Also, it's the pace that the horse travels at. Because I always say that the Knight of Cups is a slow mover. It doesn't want to spill a drop. I like him as special delivery. But in this case, I would say it's the pace, right? I would ask them if they're actually doing any exercise. And if they say, oh, I walk, I say, well, you need to jog or get on a bicycle. They're not doing enough exercises. I would go down that route. Or I would say, what happens if they travel a lot, like what happened to my friend? He used to travel a lot for work and always had to eat cooked food. And he liked to eat healthy, but he got a bit fat from eating cooked food. So if they travel a lot, that would be a reason as well.
Well, and plus if he's drinking, even if he's not drinking beer, maybe he's drinking pop and sitting there on a train or whatever and drinking pop all the time rather than water.
Yeah.
Sedentary is how I see that knight. He's very sedentary. Just like you said, he doesn't want to slosh the liquid in that cup. He's trained his eye on it.
Moving too slow.
Yes.
No, I'm just looking at the card here, and I saw some details that could also. I agree with the sedentary sort of lifestyle, but if you look at the Knight of Cups, he's got wings. He's got wings on his helmet. He's got wings on his feet, and for me, wings are messengers. And he's in front of a river, so it might be that this guy works from home. He coordinates things from home, and he's constantly in front of his computer, doing business, overseas or something like that. So his work is not conducive to what we've been, telling him to do, just go out and jog and whatever, because he's got to stay put. Maybe he needs to stay there, doing business or working in front of a screen, I don't know, 10 hours a day or something. So we would have to investigate too what type of work he does, and if that's one of the causes.
And maybe because he's passing in front of the water, it's saying to him, you need to get off your horse and do some aqua exercise or swimming.
Agreed. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because he's heading towards the water. Absolutely. In that direction.
Yep.
And I said he's heading east because of my perspective. I'm looking at him, and never eat silk worms. So I always say he's heading east.
I'll remember that if I ever see a silkworm.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry about that, but more exercise I think is needed. Or faster moving is a way to put it.
Yes, because the person is emotional eater, right? So they eat with emotions and love food, I'm sure of it.
Calvina, I think the next question has a lot for you to, it's like an obvious question for you to be asking.
Yes, of course, yeah. What should I do about my neighbor's attitude? Loud music, vandalism. Okay, wow. And so on. That's a war of neighbors.
Whose turn is it to draw a card?
Should I draw the card? Okay, we'll draw the card.
Sure. Go ahead.
What you should do about your neighbor's attitude. Very rowdy.
I had a lover's card, but that's a no. Card is judgment.
Ooh. Well, wasn't that calling the police?
Yes, that's a calling the police.
Call a higher authority.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
I would go even further because it's a trump card. I
Mhm.
would say you'd have to be persistent so they end up in a place of court so they actually get judgment, literally.
I think it's about speaking to other neighbors as well about the issue.
Could be.
It is a noisy card.
And I would also say, just call that higher authority without telling them.
Mhm.
Just get them by surprise, because all people are naked here in this judgment card. So it can catch
Oh,
them off
interesting.
guard. Yeah, catch them off guard. Don't say, if you go on with this, I'm going to call the police. Don't. Just do it. Just do it. Just surprise them with, something like that. And the guy's going to knock on their door. This is the police. Received. So it's better because they might prepare if you tell them what you're going to do.
And to me, it's like following a higher authority. I don't know if you have like a landlord or whatever who's actually responsible for the building that you can issue a written complaint to and follow it up and say, like, I've called the police a number of times and nothing's happening, so that maybe they will take more action if they
Yeah.
can. Because it's definitely, something that has to be done at a higher level.
Yes, definitely agree with that.
Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and follow us. And feel free to leave a comment.